Okay, so we're going to finish off section 7.2 by comparing unit prices. So when we're comparing our unit prices, we are going to use our unit rates that we just did in the last example. And as we're doing and working with these unit rates, we're still thinking about long division. And so when we're comparing unit rates, the better buy, right, is the one with the lowest cost per unit, or the lowest unit rate. Right? So we are going to have to do some division when we're setting up these problems and we're thinking about these. We're going to have some sort of cost, right? Some sort of money is going to be, right, in our numerator, and then we're going to have some sort of number of something. So in this particular example, we're looking at the number of pence, or maybe we're looking at the number of ounces or number of pounds or something along those lines. When we set this up as a long division, remember that our denominator goes outside, right? So the number goes outside and the amount of money is going to go inside for these. Right? So unit rate still means long division, and as we're setting up these long division, our money is going to go inside and our number is going to go outside. Right? So we're going to work through this, and our first example that we're going to look at, for each unit rate, determine the better buy. We're going to look at a box of 64 pens for $19.20. So as we are looking at this, we are going to start by dividing 64 into $19.20. Right? So we're going to just carry that decimal point straight up. All right, so I've worked ahead a little bit. Like I did in the previous example, since our divisor is so large, I went ahead and made myself a little cheat sheet on my scratch paper with our sums to figure out how many times these different numbers go into our product. I stopped at 6 for both of these because that's going to be enough, but remember that you could continue this list down a little ways. Right, so 64 does not go into 19, so we're going to put a 0 out front. So we're looking at 64 into 192. If we look at that, that turns out to be exactly 3 times. So our 3 is going to go up top. 3 times 64 is going to give us 192. Subtract, we get 0. We bring down our other 0. Well, there's nothing left over. 64 can't go into 0. So if we look at that, there is our unit price. Right? So as money, we could write this a couple of different ways. We could write 0.30 using a $sign per pen, or we could write 30 cents per pen. Right? Both of those are different ways of writing our unit rate. Right, so now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to divide our box of 48 pens for $16.80. So 48 is going to go out front, $16.80. Right, our dollar amount goes inside. 48 does not go into 16. Again, we're going to use our handy dandy little list. I have it color coded here, so now we're going to use this green column. Move this way. Right. So we want to get as close as we can to 168 without going over. That's going to be 3 times, right? Because 4 times would be 192, so that's too much. So we're going to put a 3 up top. 3 times 48 is 144. We're going to subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down our 0. 48 goes into 240. Works out to be exactly 5 times. Again, if these don't work out to be exact, you can always add more zeros and keep dividing until you have something that looks like money or rounds to the nearest appropriate place value or something along those lines. So our unit price for this box, $0.35 per pen, or 35 cents per pen. Right, remember, our better buy is the cheaper option. Right, so the 30 cents is the cheaper one. So that means that according to our unit rates, the better buy is the box of 64 pens for $19.20. Right, so when we're comparing unit prices, we want the lowest unit rate. Unit rate means long division. Right, and so after we do our long division, make sure we set it up again with our $signs inside And then make sure as we're working through these, we compare our final answers in the end, and we pick the one that is a cheaper one for our better buy when we're comparing our unit prices.